service allocation is not done by UPSC. So one thing is the vacancy plays a role, second thing is the preference of the candidates plays a role, third thing is the rank of the candidate, right, in the civil services examination, that also plays a role. Apart from this, there is another most important factor, which is the fourth factor. It is known as reservation category. Okay. So reservation category also plays a role in allocation of services to the candidates, and services are not allocated in one go. Every year UPSC comes up with a reserve list. All India services are Indian Administrative Services, Indian Police Services, and there is another service which is known as Indian Forest Service. Hello everyone, welcome to UPSC Talks from Lukman IAS. My name is Jahidul, and in this video today I am going to discuss about how does service allocation happens to a candidate who has qualified the civil services examination. Alright, to discuss about this particular thing, we are going to look into multiple factors that are important while allocating a service, and before that we need to understand which body actually allocates the service. Generally we say UPSC Civil Services Examination, but service allocation is not done by UPSC, it is done by Department of Personnel and Training, DOP&T. How it happens? Basically when we talk about UPSC, UPSC is an organization of the government. It is a kind of constitutional body which is mandated with the responsibility of recruiting people for different services to the center. Okay, so basically UPSC works as a recruitment agency. It conducts competitive examinations, it conducts multiple type of competitive examinations. One of the competitive examination is UPSC Civil Services exam. Alright, so this exam has three stages: the UPSC prelims exam, UPSC mains exam, and UPSC interview, right? And after a candidate qualifies all these stages, he is generally allocated a service. And today we are going to discuss how that service allocation happens. Alright, so after a candidate qualifies civil services examination, so generally candidates receive their rank. A merit list is generated by UPSC, and in that merit list serial numbers are given, and in front of it name, roll number, etc. are provided. Okay, serial number 1 to the last rank. Okay, this is the merit list. But when we talk about allocation of services, what are the important factors that play a role? One of the most important factor is number of vacancies. Generally every year UPSC comes up with a notification for the prelims exam, generally in the month of February. And for next year on 14th of February, UPSC is going to come up with a notification. In that notification, UPSC is going to mention how many vacancies are there, right, in the civil services examination. Alright, so overall number of vacancies are provided by UPSC, and so students apply for the prelims exam, they qualify the prelims exam. After qualifying, they fill the detailed application form, right, to appear in the mains exam. After they qualify the mains exam, they have to fill again the detailed application form, and this is known as DAF2, detailed application form 2. And in this detailed application form 2, they have to select the services where they would like to go after qualifying the exam. So preference are filled by the candidates. Alright, so one thing is the vacancy plays a role, second thing is the preference of the candidates plays a role, third thing is the rank of the candidate, right, in the civil services examination, that also plays a role. Apart from this, there is another most important factor, which is the fourth factor. It is known as reservation category. Okay, so reservation category also plays a role in allocation of services to the candidates. Okay, and we are going to discuss in detail about all these factors. Okay, for example, UPSC comes up with cumulative vacancies. Let's say like 1000 vacancies are there, but like 1000 vacancies are not only for IAS. 1000 vacancies are for all the services, right, that are there through this examination. It can be Indian Police Services, Indian Administrative Services, Indian Foreign Services, right, Indian Revenue Services, Indian Railway, let's say like Indian Railway Management Services. So like many services are there, around 23-24 services are there. Okay, so the number of services may go up or down in future. Okay, because recently UPSC has added one more service, which is known as Indian Railway Management Service. So one service has been added. So there are different services, right? overall for all these services there were, let's say, 1000 vacancies, but in all these services different number of vacancies are there. For IAS some vacancies will be there, for IPS, for IFS, right? So number of vacancies may vary from year to year. So based on the number of vacancies, right, UPSC is going to allocate service to the people. And what are the considerations for UPSC? Number one consideration is vacancy. Number two is rank of the candidate in the civil services examination, because every candidate fills his or her choice while filling the detailed application form 2, right, in the second stage, right, after the mains exam, before the personality test or before the interview. So in that selection, in that like preference list, most of the candidates select IAS to be ranked to be, let's say, first preference, but IAS cannot be given to all. So rank is considered there. A candidate who has the highest rank, he will be given a service of his or her choice. So rank plays a very important role. Okay. Then let's say reservation category also plays a very important role. Let's consider in IAS overall number of vacancies 120. But the first 120 candidates will not be given, let's say, IAS. There are people from different reservation categories. There is a person, let's say, from, there can be people from economically backward section, OBC, SC, ST. So in every service, the reservation is considered. Okay, general vacancies are filled and all the reserve categories are also filled. And how many reserve categories are there? Multiple reserve categories, as I discussed, like apart from the open category, which is general, we have OBC, SC, ST, right, EWS, and also person with benchmark disabilities or PWD, all right. So these are some of the reservation categories that are considered, okay, by UPSC for allocating a service. Apart from this, let's say, like, what the allocation of service, as I discussed earlier, is done by DOP&T. The role of the UPSC was to conduct the examination, was to provide rank to the candidates. Okay, after conducting the entire exam, they provide rank to the candidates. Then it goes to Department of Personnel and Training, DOP&T. So DOP&T works under a ministry, Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances, etc. I mean, like, there is a ministry, and under that ministry this department is there, and this department is responsible for providing services to the candidates, and services are not allocated in one go. Multiple iterations happen. I mean, like, like first round, second round, third round, fourth round, many rounds are there. There have been years where, let's say, up to 7 iterations have been done by DOP&T for allocating services to the candidates. And in some cases, like every year, UPSC comes up with a reserve list. I mean, like, some candidates are put on a waiting list. This is known as reserve list. And from the reserve list, what happens, like, if, let's say, from the main list, there was a candidate who is already selected, like in previous year, as an IPS officer or any other officer, and this year he has got a rank which is lower than what service he already had. I mean, like, so he will not be opting for a new service which is, I mean, like, which he does not prefer much. All right, so he will not be joining that service. So from the reserve list, one candidate is picked and he is given that service. So generally from the reserve list, multiple candidates are picked, right, and given services for which, I mean, like, vacancies are unfulfilled. Okay, reserve list is also there. And then overall, if we talk about, right, every year, let's say, like, there is a kind of cutoff rank. If we talk about for IAS, there will be cutoff rank for general category candidates, for OBC candidates, for SC candidates, for ST candidates, for PWD candidates, for allocating the IAS. Similarly, for other services, the same thing happens. So cutoff rank also plays a very important role, okay, like for allocating the service. And apart from this, reserve list we already discussed. And some of these services are considered to be all India services. What are all India services? All India services are Indian Administrative Services, Indian Police Services, and there is another service which is known as Indian Forest Service. And as we know, for Indian Forest Service and Civil Services Examination, prelims exam is combined. The same prelims exam is conducted. But the mains exam for Civil Services exam is different and for Forest Services is different. Okay. So these services are different, but, like, these three services are considered to be all India services. and which person will be given which state to serve, it is decided based on cadre allocation policy. So UPSC DOP&T to be specific has a specific cadre allocation policy of 2017. They follow that policy, and so there are multiple stages, there are multiple things that are taken into consideration while allocating cadre to a person, right, through the civil services exam. We are going to discuss about that factor in a future video that's going to come. Okay, so in this video itself, let's say I'm going to showcase all the services, right, for which candidates are selected. Okay, so that will be all from my side for the day. If you have any questions further related to this topic, you can comment on the comment section of this video, and we are going to respond to your query. All right, so that's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.